刹那、獣の肉体は発火。ティラノサウルスをほふったあの時のぶつけていた。本日は矛盾せず。
Hello, welcome to another video, and Hero here bringing you, this time, the GTX 960, the 4GB variant. I remember roughly 8-9 months ago, I wanted to do a standalone review on the 960. Sorry that it took so long. Unfortunately, it isn't the same card. However, it is still a 960, and unlike the previous one, this has more VRAM, which helps a lot here in 2023. So here we have yet another EVGA for the win variant of the card. It's a beautiful card with a nice solid backplate. God, I miss EVG already. Anyway, you could check the previous I mentioned up there. So, it launched all the way back in January 2015. The GTX 960 was marketed at the affordable mid-range, starting with an MSRP of $199. A 60 class card starting at $200 or so? It must have been nice.
Nice.
But that said, if at the time you didn't need the extra power or extra VRAM, you didn't get too much more performance than a GTX 950. Here in 2023 though, I managed to pick up this card for $31. Funnily enough, that's the same price I paid for the previous one as well. Anyway, let's bring up the basics real quick. It has 1,224 CUDA cores, 64 texture units, a core clock of 1,127 MHz, with a boost of 1,178 MHz, a memory clock of 1,753 MHz, and this card has two variants, the 2GB version and the 4GB version. The 960 has 120 watt TDP and typically requires a 1x6 power pin connector, but the EVGA for the win is an 8-pin card. A 300 watt PSU with the right connectors should handle a standard 960 just fine. Like always, we'll be testing this card on 2023's budget bench, the MSI Mag B550 Gaming Plus motherboard, a Ryzen 5 5600 with 16 gigs of DDR4 at 3200 MHz. Now let's get on with the gaming benchmarks. At basic preset, it is a somewhat playable 40-something FPS, but if we add a little bit of upscaling magic, it bumps all the way to 60 FPS. So at the medium preset, it really isn't faring all too well, but once again, if we feed it some upscaling bullshit, so with balanced FSR it becomes a playable 30. And on another note, the Phantom Liberty update will be released September 26th of 2023, which is about a month after this video, and it will be changing up the requirements for this game. I apologize in advance for that timing. I know 150 or so is pretty low for Valorant players. I'm sorry, Valorant players. I just say turn the settings down and you'll probably get a much bigger boost in averages. So, what do I think about the 960? For the most part, it handles most games sufficiently, at least for me. I'm very easy to please as a PC gamer. That's why I don't have too much to say about notes-wise. Like always, don't overspend, and I really do believe you could pick this card up between the $30 to $40 range. I could see the 4GB version still sitting in a lot of budget gamers' machines, and it doing everything adequately. Once again, these older cards are absolutely fine for esports and older titles, as well as struggle with newer titles, but it does seem to play well with FSR and most upscaling. So, have you ever had this card or plan to put this thing in a budget build? Let me know down below. I'm Van Hero, something of a virtual YouTuber myself. Like if you like, or dislike if you didn't like it, or just hate me. Subscribe if you want to see more, or if you're masochistic. See you next time. Bye bye. Thank you guys for watching the video. I realized on my last video that $20 GPU, only 8.4% of you guys are subscribed. Let's go ahead and bring those numbers up. Alright, see you next time.
Cause all my homies got it out the street. I keep 100 racks inside my jeans. I remember hitting the mall with my whole team. Now a homie can't answer calls cause I'm ballin'. I was waking up getting racks in the morning. I was broke, now I'm rich, I got 'em salty. All this designer on my body got me drip drip. Straight up out the country for 1/5. If I got a Bud Light, I'm a sip. Run up these racks with my queen like London and Nip. But I got rich on all these homies.